Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? Oh my gosh, today we're gonna be talking about Anne Frank. I'm honestly so excited because I recently just got back into reading, kind of like a New Year thing. I don't know, I normally don't do any resolutions or anything, but it was like the new year and I was like, let me read again. So I went to the library and just kind of got a few books. I read Radio Silence first and then The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Jesus Christ. Um that might be a whole other video, but today I'm going to be talking about Anne Frank and I want to be clear, like this is not like a serious video. I haven't finished the book, but I have a lot of thoughts. Um I'm on page 40 right now. And there's like a huge narrative shift. Like everyone always like thinks of like Anne Frank, like super sad story, which it is. I mean, it's like her diary of like going through the Holocaust and like her hiding kind of like in this attic thing where like a secret house kind of sort of deal. But I'm gonna be talking about Anne Frank. Like we need to discuss the real Anne Frank because well not that that's like the not the real Anne Frank, but like just her because like this is so funny. Like she is such a crazy like writer. Like she's so young. I don't know how young she is, but I don't know. There's like a romance between her and someone. So I'm guessing she's just kind of like a teenager. Like she's young, but like kind of like a teenager young, maybe like between 13 and 17, kind of around that age. It gives us dates in the book, not her actual age. I felt like that should have been put in there because it'd be helpful. And also there was like a guy who was kind of old talking to her, which was weird. It was weird. She reciprocated, but it was weird. I was like trying to figure out her age for that date, and I was like, like this is her personal account, but like, let's be real. Like, we need to watch out for those things. So starting out, she's already a baddie. Like, she's constantly like reading these books. Like, she doesn't care about boys, and she's trying to get good grades. And it's just so funny because like there was like a controversy that like Justin Bieber had because I don't know. He said like if Anne Frank were alive in our day and age that she'd be a believer. She would not give a flying hell about Justin Bieber if she lived in this day and age. Like she did not care anything about boys. But the thing is that boys would chase after her and she would just be like, like how iconic. Like she would like be riding her bicycle home or something. And this guy would like ask her out and then she'd like like crash her bike and like change the conversation. Like literally so iconic. And wouldn't give boys the light of day. Like we need to focus more on that, Anne Frank. Not that, Holocaust. Again, very serious book, and like I'm super excited to get into that part of the book because I don't this is not what I expected. I wanted to read a nonfiction book because I was like, let's get some historical accuracy in my life. Let's bring knowledge back. And I was like, this just sounds interesting to read. And it's super easy too because it's like, there's like diaries, like, and it's only like a couple pages for each like entry in her diary. So it's like really easy to just kind of read an entry every now and then. I'm already to page 40 and I started reading yesterday or the day before. So good though. And what are some other things about Anne Frank? She's super smart. Again, like how can you write so eloquently when you're a literal child? She does read a lot in the book, so like that's kind of what I'm attributing that to, but like at the same time, it's like how do you do that? Like she's a prodigy in her own right, and I'm like, why aren't we talking about that? I think that's kind of what like um I feel like people like I don't know, a lot of edgy people like making edgy jokes or whatever. It's kind of like they just make like Anne Frank jokes because it's like Holocaust and it's like, huh. But like this is like a historical figure, like crazy intelligent. Like the introductory is done by Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the first ladies, the longest serving first lady to I don't know which president, Theodore Franklin, I don't remember. Um to the president, and she focused a lot on human rights, and she wrote a beautiful introduction to this novel saying that this is like one of the most real accounts of like war that I've ever read in a book. And I'm starting to get into that, and oh my god, like masterpiece. Like already 40 pages in, masterpiece. And we need to talk more about her just being a figure in her own right rather than just attributing her story to like the Holocaust. I think that's like where the message gets lost. But anyways, another thing about Anne Frank that we need to be frank about, let's be real, is when she was like in school, she would like talk her head off, I guess, which is kind of interesting. Like putting into perspective, like she would blow all these guys off because they're like literally, like she said she wouldn't give them the time of day because anytime she would, they would keep calling back. Like, I don't know, like her own Hollaback girl. If we're not talking about that, like more people need to read this book. It's so interesting. Like she wouldn't even give these guys the light of day again, and she would be talking her head off in class. Like she was there for her time. Like we're not talking about that, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know who. And for the record, like this is like something that people read in school. Like I think it's like in middle school that people tend to read this book. I don't. My middle school didn't make me read this. We were reading other books, but like I don't know. People just didn't read. Let's be real. Like who read the books in school? When I got to high school, I definitely, I think it was junior year, I started reading books, and I was like, I should have been doing this the whole time, because like sometimes you like find a book that you really like and you're like, damn, I could have really liked some of the books, but I just didn't. I also had a bad attention span, but that's another conversation for another day. So Anne Frank like talks her head off in class or whatever, and the teacher sees that she's like talking her head off in class, and he's like, what the heck are you doing? Like you're talking your head off in class. And she's like, I don't think you're really teaching me anything, basically. And then he's like, well, you need to write an essay about it. Write an essay about like talk or something like that. And then she wrote this bomb-ass essay putting verses, like literally, I don't know, like what she put in there. They didn't like say the poem, they just said like the actions that happened with the poem or whatever. Professor was floored, as to be expected. Like, again, reading this book, she's an amazing writer. Floored, and she never got punishment again. Like, icon. We need to talk about that. And especially she like failed in math, but like isn't that kind of the thing? Like English and math, like usually one is good at, a person's like good at one or the other. I'm personally good at math. Again, why I didn't read books as a kid. I could not read a book. I don't know, it was hard. But moving on, I guess, going to her family, like she like cares about her family, like she likes her family, and she's like, oh, they're pretty cool or whatever. But like they don't really have anything to do with her life. Like they're like cool or whatever, but again, she's doing her own thing. And you kind of also get to like see like later on, like that's kind of her flaw, is like she doesn't give people like attention. Not that she should, but like she's focused on her own thing. And then I got to a point in the book where it's like her mom's complaining to her, or complaining about her, I should say, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think there's like some relation bounds that we haven't gotten there. But it's okay because like, I don't know, she has like a guy is fawning over her, and she does like connect with one. Again, the one that she connected with, kind of concerning age, and I was like, I need to figure out her age. And like, I don't think we ever did. Well, not that we ever did. I don't think I found out like what her age was, because he was like 18 or 19, and his grandma's like, this might not be the best idea. And then, I don't know, he's like, she said it might not be the best idea, but like, I want to pursue you. Literally so weird. And I don't know, I just have a lot of thoughts because it's like, she's just so fun. And it's like, I guess we just never really get that image of her. It's just like, you know, a sad story. And it's like, I don't know, people in New Orleans, they're like dancing down the street for a funeral. Like, why do we have to be sad, like remembering people? Just because it's a sad event that we kind of like associate with them. Like, we shouldn't, like, you know, think that way. Because it's like, that's not how people grieve. That's not how people get over things. People love laughter, people love happiness. Um, and we don't get to talk about that enough. And I'm really glad that like I saw that through here in a book that I didn't expect to like connect with so much. And yeah, I think it might be one of my favorite reads of the year. And it's like, I don't know, just something I kind of come across on a whim. I don't know if I'll make another video when I finish the book because like I don't know, the rest of it's just gonna be sad. I kind of just wanted to focus on like, you know, the happy parts and like what I really liked about it. I guess I can still talk about that. There's so many other moments like they get thrown in to that house or whatever with like another random Jewish family and they see like I don't know, this other family is clearly broken and there's clearly something wrong because their boy is kind of like acting weird and like fidgety. And then Anne Frank's like, that's a weird kid. That's where like her flaws really come out is like when she's looking at other people, she can be very judgmental. And yeah, she's like, that's a weird kid. But it's like his parents are so strict and then they find him like reading a book that's like kind of suggested to be like, you know, some type of like pornography or something in there. And then I can't remember. I think he like slaps him or something. It was some crazy shit, and Anne's just there like, like, does anyone really care that he has the book? I don't know. And then the mom is like flirting with Anne Frank's dad, and Anne Frank was saying that she was like slipping up her skirt. Like, literally, what is happening at this household? Like, she's stuck in this house, and this is what she's worried about? Like, aren't we supposed to be worried about the Gestapo? No, like, we're worried about the interpersonal relationships with these people, and it's like, goddamn. It is so entertaining, though. It's like, I don't know. We need to talk more about this book. I guess there's like not too much more to say. Like I'm like trying to find other things to say. But again, only 40 pages and like what can really happen in 40 pages in a book? Some would argue a lot, but I would argue not enough. And oh my, depending on the book, again, that book I read, The Road by Cormac McCarthy, like if I got 40 pages in, it would still feel like I'm on the first page. Like, don't read that book. Again, might be another video, but I'm not sure. And yeah, I don't know. I think this also kind of showed me like we need to be reading because I want to be on Anne Frank's level. I want to be Anne Frank. Like, how is she so smart? Like, and she also says that like, well, I don't really want to like give much to my smartness or whatever, my intelligence, and it's like you should because like that's something you should commend yourself on. And of course, like she's a young girl. Again, The Diary of the Young Girl is like the name of the book. But like we need to appreciate people more for like their skills, and I don't really know why we don't. I don't really know why we don't. And I don't know, this could just all be my perspective on like what I thought of Anne Frank before. Like I don't really know like what I could tell you about Anne Frank before. I mean, I could tell you that like she was a Jewish girl who like wrote a diary, but like I don't know, that's all I could really tell. But like everything associated with her is sad, and it's like we should not be doing that. And I think even just getting through 40 pages of the book, even maybe just 10 pages of the book, like made me realize that immediately. Like we need to break all boundaries. or I guess that could be like even like a bigger open conversation about like what we, I don't know, like value in situations. Like when we look at these situations from afar, like what do we see? Because from what I see after reading this, 40 pages in, again, from 40 pages in, is an amazing girl with an amazing gift who had an unfortunate circumstance take over her life. And we need to talk about that. We need to unpack why that's not what we really talk about when we talk about Anne Frank. I think, well, I guess everyone knows that she's smart, because another thing that I've always known is that, like, she, like, here, I can pull to a page in here. She wrote her journal in a way that was, like, coded. I don't know if you could see this. It's so hard for me to even see. But she, like, do you see, like, where my index finger is? Like, she wrote, like, these squares and stuff, and then she had, like, a key. Well, no, that's just, like, different things. She had, like, a key to, like, read her diary. I don't even know how you write in a different language that you came up with. Like, insane. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's always been there and, like, I never really saw that, but, like, from the way I've ever heard about Anne Frank is, like, she's the Jewish girl. And it's like, we need to hype this girl up. We need to give her her bread, her flowers, her everything, because, again, crazy smart. I cannot write these sentences in English, and she's writing it in hieroglyphics. Like, we need to give that some sort of dues. But anyways, I think that's all I really have to say. It was super fun. I hope you decide now to go read Anne Frank, because you really should. And it's so good so far. Like, the diary format, like, the way that she writes, I think she can get lost in, like, descriptions, which I think a lot of writers tend to do. And it's like, what am I even reading? I can't visualize this. But she's still able to just, like, encapsulate her own story, like, super duper well. And yeah, I think it's a very interesting and way more dramatic read. All the drama in here, like, I don't know where that came from. I was like, I thought I was gonna read like a war account stories, which also was gonna be really cool. But like, no, I'm getting involved with interpersonal relationships with people who have been gone for like, I don't know, it's been 80 years? Like, insane. Insanity. But this is an amazing book. And I hope you at least, like, you know, read maybe a couple pages before, like, deciding do you want to read it or not. Because honestly, I was hooked during the first diary entry. Give it at least the first entry. But anyways, that's all I really had. I'm drinking some green tea right now, if you're wondering. It's in a pretty big thing. I should not be drinking this. Apparently, it has caffeine. I've never felt caffeinated on green tea. But it's kind of getting late, and like, I don't know if that's the best idea. But anyways, I hope you have a newfound appreciation for Anne Frank, like I do. I know I couldn't like say the most about her because I'm only 40 pages in, but I cannot wait to finish this and know like everything. Even though I feel like I've gotten a lot already, I just want to know everything else. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye bye. Ooh.